Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. This is Yaakazaki Yahoo, and I start this broadcast as I would start any broadcast by first of all giving all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say shalom, Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm joined this afternoon by my most esteemed Akinanaya. Shabbat shalom, Aki.
Shabbat shalom, Maki. Shabbat shalom, Yasharal. Kwam Yasharala.
Yes, indeed. Rise, Israel. Rise. Praises to the Father. We are back with another video review. Very interesting video to begin. This video just happened to pop up on my stream, and you know what? We're gonna check it out and see what it's about. And let's get to it.
What is the root cause of the pervasive racism against Black people? Take a moment to truly ponder this question. It goes beyond mere hatred. There is also a sense of envy and perceived threat towards Black individuals. According to a study conducted by the American Psychological Association and reported by Vox, Black people are consistently viewed as menacing. This pattern has persisted for centuries, but what lies at its core? Evidence suggests that non-Black individuals harbor subconscious beliefs that incite feelings of jealousy and animosity. Astonishingly, these underlying reasons range from the fear of losing their partners to being envious of Black people's physical prowess, as well as anxieties about genetic annihilation and potential extinction. A multitude of factors trigger this jealousy. Join us as we delve into the untold stories of Black history and shed light on events that have been overlooked. It is our belief that both Black and white individuals should be aware of these forgotten chapters, as Black people have often been led astray by manipulative propaganda that erases their achievements. Our aim is to provide you with factual information about pivotal moments that have shaped our society. Together, let's foster a united Black community that thrives through knowledge and understanding. In this video, we will explore the historical reasons behind the perception of Black people as a threat. Reason 1: insecurity in interracial relationships.
All right. So right off the bat here, we get into this. This is all Black people must know this. This is why Black people are seen as a threat in Black history. So he said number one is concern of interracial relationships. So that's a sore spot for myself because I am pretty well against interracial relationships. I don't believe that the Most High have ordained such and put us together, put us on the earth to be Israelites, to be with other nations, as it pertains to relationship wise. I don't see that. I don't partake in that, and I certainly wouldn't teach that for doctrine that you should go out and find yourself a non-Israelite woman and marry her, and or a non-Israelite or Israelite woman should find her a non-Israelite man and marry him and have his seed and so on and so forth. I believe that when you deal in these matters, that you will corrupt your seed, and our seed is corrupted not only from the physical standpoint of what genetics you put into yourself, well, not into yourself, but into your children, but also corrupted in the ideology that, or the doctrine that that person is going to come with. Because every person, every nation is going to have a doctrine. That's just fact and reality. So regardless of how much you all agree on this or that, they're going to have a doctrine, because most men are going to say what it takes to get the woman that they want to be with. Most women are going to do what it takes to get the man that they want to be with. So are they going to maintain that? We saw that even with Solomon. He was the king of Israel when Israel was at its height. And, coming off of King David, going unto him, had peace on every side. And, he married 700 daughters of Zion, and he also had 300 concubines, women of other nations that he married. So he started going off when he started dealing with these women of these other nations as he got older, and they would say to him, do this for me. And that's what he started doing. He started worshiping their idols. Didn't do it when he was young and strong. Didn't do it when he was, young and vibrant. He waited until he got older, and he forsook the Most High and in those things. And we're reading in the book of Ezra right now, Second Ezra right now. That was the situation that happened. They took these other women and their children. They couldn't even speak the Yahudim language, the Hebrew. They couldn't even speak the Hebrew. They were speaking the language of these foreigners. And these weren't even so-called white people. These were other black people, just other nations of black people, not Israelites. So I wanted to put that out there because anytime you deal in a public platform like this, it needs to be understood. I think Akin Anaya got his own viewpoint, and that's cool too, because that's no problem. But I want Akazaki Yahu to be heard in this matter, because it is imperative in Israel that an Israelite man marries an Israelite woman, and that an Israelite woman marries an Israelite man. Mm-hmm. That's how we keep the line going. Now, are there situations where that's not going to be able to happen? Certainly. In those situations, like in Joseph, the patriarch Joseph, there's no Israelite woman for him to marry. All our patriarchs didn't have Israelite women to marry. But we had to move forward, and the only way we could move forward was with a woman. Mm-hmm. And that's how we all came from. But go ahead,
I feel like the ideal situation for a so-called black man, an Israelite man, is an Israelite woman. That being said, is it a sin for Israelite man to take on a woman of another nation? Yes, if it is one of those 7 nations of those women that the Most High told us not to take, have relationships with, I would say yes. And I would also say that it can be problematic, kind of like what you were bringing out, how our heritage, of a biracial child is often lost in that union. We hear about the story of Kobe Bryant and how he took on a woman of another nation, and how this woman has just disregarded his family. So this is what I mean when it becomes problematic. All of this earning potential that this brother had no longer comes to our community. It goes to that community, and however she feels like distributing that money. That's problematic. My mother's black. Her mother's black. Her mother was black. That's fine. That's great for me. I don't have any other reason to desire anything other than that. I'm not exactly sure. I think it might be, if I'm being honest, I feel like it's some mental health issues going on, like when brothers choose to do otherwise than what they're raised with. That's just me. I feel like being a so-called black man in this nation, there's only one specific woman in this country that's gonna understand my plight, and that's the so-called black woman, the Israelite woman. But do I feel that it's a sin? No. And do I have got a brother that had Israelite brother that was in union with a Gentile woman, and her heart was circumcised, and she knew her place, and she was trying to keep Torah. That's a big part of it as well. She wasn't into this world and of her culture. She knew that her culture was off. But that's not going to be the case with most of them that we come in contact with, Doc.
Indeed, Archie. All right, let's continue here.
Imagine a scenario where a white man is deeply in love with a white woman and they are committed to each other in a strong relationship. However, underneath the surface, he carries an unspoken fear, the fear that his partner might be attracted to black men. This fear stems from society's perpetuation of stereotypes linking black men to sexual prowess and physical dominance. These stereotypes can trigger deep-rooted insecurities within the white man, causing him to question his own sexual performance and physical attractiveness. In today's more accepting world of interracial relationships, some white men may feel threatened by the attention black men receive, worrying that their partners may find them more sexually appealing. These anxieties can undermine the security of the relationship and create unnecessary tension. It is worth noting that there has been an increase in relationships and marriages between black men and white women, which could be seen as a growing acknowledgement of the sexual charisma that black men possess.
All right, so let me pause there for just a moment. Because what he said initially was the concern that a white man with his white woman being concerned about his white woman being attracted to black men. Well, if we're talking about righteous men in Israel, then your woman, regardless if she's black or white or whatever, she's married to you. Israelite man is not going to look at her and say, "Oh, I can get with her, or I can have a part with her, or whatever the case." That's not going to happen, because Torah teaches us that we're not to deal with another man's wife. So that behavior is completely unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in this society where it's over sexualized, by all means, yes, you a so-called black man with no knowledge of Torah or no dealings with the Most High, yeah, he would take your wife and do whatever with her, and even send her back home to you, and whatever the case. But that's not a righteous brother, and that's very unrighteous behavior, punishable according to the Most High by death.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nothing to be played with. That's nothing to be trifled with. And if the society wasn't so corrupted, this wouldn't even be an issue or a concern to be had, because most black men, so-called black men, most especially Israelite men, we have to respect what marriage is, because the Most High commands us to. And so it's not a thing to where there's an option. I can go out and be with this man's wife because I may like the way she look, or whatever the case. That's not even an option. So you got anything on that?
No, nah.
Okay, Kyle, let's continue.
Reason 2, white dominance. Decline anxiety. Radical white conservative supremacist factions often grapple with an entrenched apprehension regarding the erosion of their grip on white supremacy. They construe growing racial and ethnic diversity, progressive social movements, and shifting societal norms as direct menaces to their social, cultural, and political authority. White supremacist ideology posits that white individuals possess inherent superiority bestowed upon them by a divine entity. Confronted with challenges, these factions find themselves consumed by fear. Paradoxically enough, this fear originates from an awareness that if indeed white supremacy were true, proponents of such beliefs would not harbor trepidation towards black individuals, since they themselves would be considered chosen ones. This particular fear frequently takes shape as xenophobia, racism, and an ardent yearning to uphold traditional power structures. These concerns emanate from a conviction that proponents of white supremacy will inevitably become a marginalized minority within their own nation, relinquishing the privileges they have enjoyed for countless generations. Political rhetoric that reinforces these convictions and fosters an us versus them mentality can further aggravate these anxieties. In certain instances, these factions may resort to violence and intimidation as a means to safeguard their control and perceived dominion. Reason 3. Dread of genetic extinction.
Okay, real quick on reason 2. Yeah, he kind of covered that pretty well. It's not really white supremacy is not real. I think everybody knows that. I don't think it's a hidden secret. It only works because you have the majority and the authority and the rulership. Outside of that, it wouldn't even do what it's doing now. So that's not even a situation to be had. But yeah, so let's go to reason 3 here. Oh, you got anything on reason 2? Art?
Well, Khan,
Okay.
the supremacy or the social placement of things the way that they are now, it's divine intervention. The Most High says that I will cause you to be jealous with the people who are not jealous or who are not a people. This was the Most High's doing to get our attention. And I would say that there definitely is a fear just because of all the atrocities that have taken place. And I don't know, he might hit on that in one of these points, but right. And to add on to what you were kind of saying, there's reality and then there's self-perception. Right. So I think that the self-perception that many of Gentiles have is supremacy, but it's not reality.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, because there's a mindset that somehow so-called white is right, or whatever the case, and they feel like that's the norm or that's the status quo. But the reality is, reality doesn't say that, didn't show that. If that was the case, then we're not gonna go there. I'm not gonna even get into that. So let's go to reason 3 here. The dread of genetic extinction. So continue.
During the era of black enslavement, black individuals posed a significant threat to their non-black masters due to their physical strength and charisma. The fear of genetic annihilation arose from the understanding that if non-black individuals marry white individuals, their own genes would be rendered submissive and eventually extinct biologically. When individuals mate, their genes combine and influence the traits of their offspring. White individuals feared that intermarriage could lead to the dominance of black genes over their own. This is because of natural selection, where nature selects the genes which have more chances of survival. Genes having specific traits from a mother and a father are combined in their child. However, the gene having robust capability dominates while the other is suppressed. Since black people are better equipped for the environment naturally, the probability of their genes' domination is more. Hence, if a white woman and a black man or a black woman and a white man marry, black genes will have superiority and white genes will be suppressed. In the past, owing to this fear, interracial marriage was prohibited. The one-drop rule was established to maintain the oppression of black individuals. This legal principle said that a person having even one black person as an ancestor should be considered black. Therefore, they should not be allowed to marry a white person today, as this cannot be added to the law. Fear and hate exist after knowing this reality. Enjoying the video so far?
All right, so I think that pretty much goes along with that first point, so I'm not going to expound on that one. You got anything on that, what he said?
Nah.
Okay, let's continue. All right, so let's continue here.
And culture.
As we
Let's continue now. Reason 4, dread of extinction. Groups who feel that their cultural, ethnic, or racial identity is under threat often experience a deep-seated fear of potential extinction. This is especially true for white supremacists who harbor intense anxieties regarding Black individuals, whom they perceive as strong, attractive, and superior. This fear arises from the belief that the influence and power of white people are gradually diminishing. Changes in demographics such as migration patterns, cultural shifts, and birth rates can exacerbate these fears. White individuals may perceive Black individuals as replacing them and view their perceived genetic advantages as intensifying their unease. Consequently, this fear drives a desire to preserve their own identity, leading to acts of racism and discrimination. Ultimately, this fear stems from the notion of genetic annihilation, where Black genes are considered superior and white genes are expected to be suppressed, resulting in the apprehension that the white population will eventually become extinct. Reason 5.
So, ironically, compared to that, I think that used to be the concern, but I think over time and with evidence, you have entire places, entire countries that are filled with what's called mulattoes. And although these are Caucasians, these people they're not Black. And they stay amongst themselves because if they go into, they go with Black people, then they would be, they would take on Black features. But they stay amongst themselves because, that's what that's how they stay the same. It's ironic because I guess all these generations later, it's gotten to that place. But I think there was a time where as it seemed like if the Black genes were completely dominant, as he specifies, then if you took two mulattoes and put them together, the child should be Black because the Black genes in both of them should come out. But two mulattoes make another mulatto, not a Black person. So I don't know how much. I wouldn't say that was 100% accurate. I think a lot of times, yes, you do get dominant Black genes that do show up, but to say that happens 100% of the time, I can't account for that. Yeah. So.
And the scriptures say you are what your father is.
Exactly. So yeah, regardless of what your skin tone looks like, if your father is a Caucasian from the seed of Japhet, or from the seed of Yavon, or from the seed of what was one of the other ones?
Ashkenaz.
Yeah, Ashkenaz.
Gomer.
Yeah. You're from the seed of Gomer. You're seed of Gomer. You're not. You can't just all of a sudden say, "Hey, I'm Yehuda too." Like, no, you're not Yehuda. Your mother might have been Yehuda, but you Gomer. Right. And that's the reality that is unsettling for a lot of people. But which is why I'm against it, because it doesn't make sense, because this person typically is going to be amongst our people. And you have a son, if a Black woman have a son with a Caucasian man, in generations, who knows what kind of damage they could do. You got Black women raising his son for generations. And that same seed is going forward. We thinking, oh, they look Black, they must be Black. No, you are what your father is. So,
God.
All right, continue.
fear of being replaced. For generations, white individuals have enjoyed certain privileges and advantages due to an unequal distribution of wealth. However, societal changes are challenging this status quo, leading some white individuals to fear being replaced. Previously, systemic barriers prevented Black individuals from acquiring property, keeping their circumstances unchanged regardless of their efforts. Today, the removal of these barriers allows Black individuals to fully pursue their aspirations. The perception of being replaced by Black individuals can generate anxiety and fear. This fear is amplified, particularly if white individuals believe that Black individuals possess advantages in areas such as economics, culture, or demographics. These concerns can lead to a defensive mindset and resistance to societal progress. Since Black individuals express better cognitive abilities, and there is no limitation that can suppress this today, the fear of getting replaced becomes obvious. Earlier, this fear was avoided by structural and institutional racism, but today, no such systems exist.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, yeah, you got an ability to buy a house and live where you want to live. You can marry whoever you want to marry, but I don't mean that the police can't pull you over and haul you off to jail and leave you there without even charging you with a crime for an absorbent amount of time and enough time for you to lose everything that you done built. That's an inaccurate statement. I don't know where that came from, but let's continue.
Reason 6, the inferiority complex. Some ultra-white conservatives and supremacists may implicitly recognize the perceived superiority of Black individuals in terms of survival capabilities, yet they refuse to accept it as reality. Instead, they experience jealousy and an accompanying inferiority complex which fuels their hatred. An inferiority complex arises from feelings of inadequacy and inferiority compared to others perceived as strong or exceptional. This complex can manifest as low self-esteem, self-doubt, and resentment towards those deemed superior. In conflicts between white and Black individuals, the underlying cause is often rooted in the inferiority complex of white individuals. Their hate is a manifestation of their feelings of inadequacy and resentment towards Black individuals. White individuals may feel intimidated by the perceived superiority of Black individuals and view themselves as incapable of achieving the same level of success or excellence. Focusing on their perceived shortcomings or weaknesses, they may harbor resentment and direct their anger toward Black individuals. Reason 7, physical superiority.
So reason 6 was kind of along the same lines. I mean, this is almost repetitive, but
yeah, I was thinking he could have really summed up a few of these in one category.
Yeah, indeed. Physical superiority. Let's go into that one.
Throughout history, Black individuals have been acknowledged for their exceptional physical strength and magnetic personalities. These qualities have at times instilled apprehension and unease among non-Black individuals who perceive the potential dominance of Black people as a challenge to their own status and principles. Even white men regard Black individuals as superhuman due to their consistent outperformance. Non-Black societies, such as European colonizers, established social and cultural systems that marginalize Black people by devaluing their prowess in physical labor and instead glorifying fragility as a symbol of refinement and civilization. Ancient philosophers like Aristotle further propagated the belief that Black individuals were inherently subservient, employing these distorted notions to rationalize the enslavement and mistreatment of Black people. However, regardless of how much physical work is devalued, white individuals still feel threatened by the physical superiority of blacks who possess genes that facilitate muscle growth, enjoying a natural biological supremacy. Research has also demonstrated that black people are endowed with genes that contribute not only to cognitive superiority, but also to physical dominance. What is your perspective on this matter? Are these factors significant contributors to the animosity against black people? Will these fears ever dissipate, resulting in an end to racism and discrimination? We would like to hear your thoughts on.
Yeah, so that's why they tend to shoot our people multiple times, empty the magazine, empty the clip into a so-called black man, just because he moved his hand or he shifted his weight or whatever the case, because of that concern of that
Fear.
that fear of that superiority, that man is capable of superhuman ability. And the day is coming when that's going to be there's some truth to that. I mean, of course, we're genetically superior, truthfully, but we're still human. And there's going to be a day when that still human part is going to be taken away when the Messiah show up. And it won't be any still human you should be dealing with. You'll be dealing with something of a whole other level, of a whole other situation. So, but yeah, that's all I got on that. You got anything on that?
Yeah, Khan, you and I have talked about how, growing up, we would watch the Olympics every 4 years, and we would see our people excel in each game that they were present for, and wondering how it was that our people were subdued in the continent, and why we face such trouble here in this hemisphere. So with all that physical prowess that is possessed by so-called black man and black woman, it means nothing if our power is not with us.
Indeed, Aki. Without the power of Israel being with us, taking us through the process of destroying of defeating our enemies, then we're subject to them.
And they knew it as well. That's why they were confederate against us, to get us to sin against the Most High, knowing that we wouldn't be covered then.
Indeed. It's like they get you to drop your insurance, and as soon as you do, then they ready to have a wreck with you. And it's a bad analogy, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. All praises to the Father. That's the first time viewing one of these videos. We'll have to check out another one and see if they got any more worthwhile information for us to take a look at. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close it out here. We're going to close out with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important that we understand that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Why? Because this is the reason that we are here. And at the end of the day, when it is all said and done, when all the dust is settled and all the smoke is cleared, we will be judged on whether we feared the Most High and kept his commandments. Why? Because this is the whole reason that we were made. I am your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Aka Kenaniah, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the 4 quarters of the earth. I say Shalom wa Baruchim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together, and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High Power, under one covenant. Until that day, Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Picard.
All praises to the Father.